Hello. Are we live? I'm just waiting on a stream delay to make sure that I'm live. Test, test. There we go. We're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Winter Pride 2018. With me is Dorkmaster Fleck and Varin.
Hello.
Hello.
We are some of the staff members for Power Up with Pride. We've worked really hard to bring this event to you. We're super excited about it. This year, we're benefiting the Trevor Project again. You can donate in chat by using !donate. I got a little blurb here to read about the Trevor Project. A lot of us probably already know about it, but I'm going to read this anyways just to refresh everybody. The Trevor Project is the leading national organization providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning youth. You can check them out at thetrevorproject.org to access their services, find out more about their impact, or to donate. That's about actually all we have to say to get this started. I just wanted to, again, shout out the entire staff, not just the folks who are here for opening ceremonies. And with that, I think we're going to pass it off to ConklesToTheMax, who is running Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Okay, so like was said, this is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. We're specifically doing Dark Story. Will I get a countdown to when to start, or... Okay. Okay, so this is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It's a speedrun focusing on 3 different characters with 3 different distinct gameplay types. So we're starting off with Eggman, who's in a mech. He can shoot, he can jump, he can run around. Not quite at the speed of sound, but he's still got places to go. So this is the first level, Iron Gate. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Just get to the end, blow up the things in your way, and then ride the elevators, or don't. I'm not really taking that elevator at present because it doesn't go any faster if you're on it, so I went back for some rings. Those aren't strictly necessary, but it's still nice to have them. Oh, this is good. My controller disconnected. So, pop the gates, continue bopping the gates, and then the intricacies of Eggman are a bit interesting. You don't want to take corners too wide. You can take them a bit wider if you jump. And again, we're going to wait up at the top after activating this. At around 21 seconds. After we go back here, get 5 more rings to cross this gate with 80 rings so that we get an item called Speed Shoes. Which the name is pretty self-explanatory. We get a little bit of a speed boost, then we jump down, pop all those gates, then we turn around here and bop another thing, but it's not a gate this time. It's the control panel for this missile. Why there's a missile here, I don't know. Game designs. And then we enter the first boss after this, which is our first little taste of Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog, who's basically Sonic, but different colored, and with different hairstyle. Spike style. So ideally we want to hit this boss really quickly, and then keep him stun locked. Boop. Boop. Another boop. And we're gonna release him from the stun lock just to damage him when he's up in the air for a shorter death animation. But you can tell he's not Sonic due to the little tuft of fur underneath his head. Now we're entering Rouge. Rouge has the mission of finding 3 separate items throughout the stages. So we grab a hint, which tells us roughly where it is. So this one, we have to free the turtle. Always nice to free some turtles. Which allows us to get to this section. And then we grab another hint for our second piece. I could have grabbed it lower. I was also going up there for checking to see if there was a piece I could spot for the third piece, as that's a pretty common location for them. What was this piece again? Gun guard of the storage area. So this guy, boop. Going up and down the stairs. So that exactly great. My execution was also pretty lacking on it, but I'll still take it. Now we go back to Eggman to do Sand Ocean, which is arguably one of the hardest stages execution-wise in the run. So, gonna wish me luck. Also, it's heavily cycle-based, and the cycles are going right now, so as soon as we start the level, we're resetting to get the cycles good. Then we're gonna do some risky jumps. I might take it a little safer than I normally do, just simply due to the fact that it's a marathon run. But either way, we go through here. We get that just because we can, it's right there. We gotta break that early so we don't have to wait for it to fall, so we can walk across it. I just didn't jump. So that's gonna mess up my cycles a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. At least we died towards the part just past the checkpoint. Okay, so what I normally get there is around a 101, because I'm not that great or practiced with it. I think fastest cycle is just shy of a minute, but that's fine. However, I think we're going to be late on this cycle, so we're gonna be waiting here for a little bit, unfortunately. Yeah, these jumps aren't very comfy. I'm in fact just going to wait on here. You can go and make a jump, but I really don't want to mess that up and look a major fool. So I don't consider runs truly started for me until we're done with this stage. Mostly due to the fact that Dry Lagoon is very difficult, or very luck dependent, and this stage is very difficult. Especially if you go for a strat called Sandwalking, which I don't go for because I've got better time saves. to go for. Now we get our first taste of Shadow the Hedgehog. Our first real taste. Level 4 of 14. Now Shadow is a lot faster than Eggman, but fundamentally that's a wall shadow. He's not that different. I mean, all he has to do is go to the end of the stage, and that's what Eggman does. So there's no real difference. Also, normally you're supposed to somersault under those, which is a movement option if you hit the action button. And you just sort of do like this somersault flippy thing. However, that action is bound to the same button as spin dashing, which you just have to hold it longer. And thus, in the state between, I don't feel comfortable with the speed I had there to jump at the end. So I took a little bit of a longer way. And we mash here because the cycles there just sort of line up, because normally those what are they? I guess they're street signs. You grab onto them. And normally you can spin around them, and if you hit A at a certain point in that spin cycle, you get launched. Otherwise, you just sort of fall back down to the ground. But just mashing there just sort of works for whatever reason. They line up well. So now it's Egg Quarters, another treasure hunting stage.
This is Rouge. I've located Eggman's base and will proceed to enter it now. I hate to say it.
But this time, we've got to find some keys instead of some rocks. So Red Warrior. Oh. Means it is in the area between green and blue. So this stage has a few different areas. So we started in that red room. Then there's a green room. I intentionally died there because look at where that piece spawned. Oh. Dark Sonic. So that puts us going right here. Oh. Okay. And then we enter Lost Colony, which is a pretty uneventful stage. Not gonna lie. But we do get what is the best upgrade in the entire game in this stage, so
this is the space colony arc.
can't really argue with that. I'll point out when we get it. However, for this, we just sort of go with the flow. Hop down because taking the pulley isn't really that necessary. Also, you might notice that I'm mashing to shoot as opposed to locking on all of them at once. Also, those boost pads are a bit of a trap. If you take them, you get a good boost of speed, but also at the end of that pathway, end of that slope rather. Okay, now we got the jet engine. At the end of that slope, your speed drops significantly. Now we get the jet engines, and those let us fly like a butterfly. Okay, I was explaining mashing to shoot as opposed to locking them all. Oh, I just noticed. I have no spare lives. Okay. And now this is the hardest section of the game. It's 30 seconds of pure focus. Or donation reading, or small talk. Whatever. Because we just sort of sit here. Nothing can damage us.
I definitely do have some donations if you don't mind me reading them.
Yep, I don't mind.
All right, I have $4.50 from Pods, who says, "Hey y'all, hope you all are having a cracking time with the marathon, and I hope to see you Saturday. I've personally supported the Trevor Project with a marathon before, so I know for a fact I needed to do this thing. Donation goes to Pacifist Jevil Fight in Deltarune because I need to confirm that Jevil can do anything. I have $5 from Ravelin. Please let me have a chance with Sirens and Gaia Drums and Stardust. I have $15 from Jacqueline Hyde.
Last one.
So glad to see an event for LGBTQ speedrunners and LGBTQ charities."
Okay, we wanted to hit that button sooner, but we didn't go that quick. We got off it too quickly, and thus it didn't launch through the door. But that's fine. Now we enter weapons bed. So we're gonna do a tactic called pause jumping, or pause hovering. So I'm going to jump and pause very quickly, and then release pause and hit A equally quickly. And that will let me go higher than I otherwise normally could, which kind of makes the stage have a lot of strange things to it. I'm not gonna go for that because I messed up because the camera locked. It's still possible, but it's not very nice. And yes, jets can run into your face. It's just a hazard of this stage. Perfectly normal. I mean, Eggman can tank it. It's little known, but he's actually extremely durable. I think he actually ripped off Wolverine's adamantium skeleton. Okay, had a little difficulty with the pause hovers there, but that's fine. Also, I should have mentioned, by doing it this way, we sort of skipped an upgrade that they intended for you to have to get. But, I mean, I skipped it, so I don't have it. It just lets me break those gray boxes with shooting them, but that's fine. Because all of them are easy enough to avoid. And that was honestly pretty good. In-game time, that was less than a second off of my gold. I think I was a little slower with my pause hovers. Like unpausing. Tails won. We just sort of shoot him, run into his face.
Better luck next time, Fox Boy.
Okay, now we enter Security Hall. The third of 4 treasure hunting stages. Now this one can be a bit of a hassle. The stage has a gimmick where there are 3 levels of safes, like stacked on top of each other. And if you need to get a piece in one of the safes, it's rather unfortunate. Like this one is in the red safe, and that's near the bottom. However, only the blue safes were unlocked, so we had to go up to the top to unlock it. And where's our last piece? Place that is protected by lasers. I think we need to turn blue back on. Also, if it's not where I think it is, I'm just gonna have Rouge go into a pit. Hope it's this one. Mostly due to the fact that you keep your first, whatever pieces you happen to collect upon dying.
How is that?
Okay, now it's Flying Dog. And we're going to try to hit this boss quite quickly.
I can't believe I've come this far just to fail.
This is Flying Dog headquarters. Intruder found entering security hall. Preparing to attack.
Okay, ideally I'll hit him at a good angle here to lock him. I messed up the boss's AI manipulation, so that I could get a slightly quicker kill on him.
Not bad, huh? I'm pretty strong, all right.
Now it's our second shadow stage, White Jungle. So, Eggman plans on blowing up this island that we're on. So we gotta go to the end of this jungle to go to where Rouge was to rescue her. And we've got like 10 minutes. But if we take 10 minutes, I'm gonna be extremely sad and extremely surprised. Okay, so I didn't really want to take those springs. Okay, we just did a somersault there because I messed up storage. It's not a hard trick. It's literally just holding a button as you walk under certain things. But sometimes pressing buttons is hard. And speaking of hard, this Dark Story is kind of seen as what the developers intended to be a hard mode. Because the stages are a little more unfair. They have a little more gimmicks to them. And yeah, that's basically it. And now we just go around. Hey, there's Big the Cat. Big the Cat's hidden in a lot of stages. Not all of them, but almost all of them. And he's a pretty cool cat.
Here we go.
Okay, now we enter. Are you kidding?
That wasn't so.
Okay. Also, we got a C rank there. You might think that's bad. It's not actually that bad because the rank is based off of. I just gotta let this cutscene play out.
I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh. You're not even good enough to be my words.
Okay. What was I even on about?
Only one real Sonic. Bring it on. That hurt. No time to hang out with the likes of you.
I forgot what I was talking about. So I guess I'll talk about the driving level. Which we start now, as we mash through some cutscenes. Okay, so this is pretty simple. You get 10... Every 20 rings you get the ability to pull out a speed boost, like a mushroom from Mario Kart. And now I'm going to be wiggling around, because that puts me in a drift mode, which actually keeps my speed cap as higher than driving normally. And other than that, I don't really have much to say about this stage, so I'm gonna say, hey, if there are any donations to be read, now would be a good time.
I always have donations. I have a $1,000 donation from FoopHoop78. Let's go! Unfortunately, I won't be able to tune in much this weekend, but I'm very excited for the things I do get to see. Good luck to all the runners and staff. May the marathon gods be in y'all's favors. Also, save the animals, of course. I have a $20 donation from Nimputz, who just says cat boo. I also have a $1 donation from Firestar. Hey guys, sorry I couldn't donate more. Good luck to the runners, and hug the goat.
Alright, I like hugging goats. I also like Cat Boo. Sadly, we won't see the stage that usually gets a lot of Cat Boos spammed with the Sonic Adventure 2 battle community. Because we usually do that for a certain boss in Hero Story. Unfortunately for me, this is not Hero Story, because I'm significantly worse at Hero Story, which is a rather fringe position to be in. Oh no. That's not good. That's not good at all. I regret saying that this stage is simple. I just gotta blame the people who designed this highway. I mean, this doesn't seem like a very safe highway to drive on. What's even worse is I was on PB pace. I've got my splits up for me. And technically I still could, but I'd have to play out of my mind. Because a 2-minute time loss is not good. I'm actually kind of glad I was on PV pace. Because otherwise that time loss could have very easily put me over estimate. But that's fine. Oh, I guess I should explain why we're doing this. Tails has a Chaos Emerald, we kind of want that. It's a nice little throwback to Adventure 1. Because at the end of Tails' story, he was gifted a Chaos Emerald. For saving the day and the city. But we kind of need that to try to blow up the moon and take over the world. It's good. We're the good guys here. I know it's called Dark Story, but we're the good guys. Okay, so... Also, I gotta mention that Rouge's extremely good-looking car. This is the only place you can use it, which you might be like, okay, that sounds alright, because like there's not much other driving in the game. However, there's a whole mini-game of 3 different tracks where you can do some kart racing. Now, the kart racing has all of the playable characters in the game, as well as if you do everything with a given character, you unlock an alternate car for them with some different stats. Rouge's, though, she's replaced by a robot. Now this is Skyrail.
Shadow, they're in that blue plane. Spotted at 11 o'clock.
Copy that.
Shadow Dad. Now this is one of the shortest levels in the game. Especially with the skips we can do. Okay. Now we just sort of grind. That was weird. Now normally I'd like to do this stage in less than a minute, but that doesn't seem quite possible.
That wasn't so hard.
Now I have the chat pulled up, and I'm quite surprised with how hyped people are with some of the strats. Mostly because I have an odd perspective, I guess, due to the fact that compared to other runners, I'm quite middle of the road, I'd say. Also, this robot, we just sort of shoot at him. There we go. Okay, we need some Bless RNGs in chat because this is the final Rouge stage. Mad Space. Now this stage has a bit of a gimmick where the hints are a little backwards. Um, I can explain. So the hints are a little backwards, but they're not backwards in the same way. So if we grab the second hint, it'll say a low plate. Now, I know where this piece is. I didn't actually need to grab that hint. However, it's not going to be in quite the lowest place you're thinking of. The second hint is actually outright lying to you. And so when it says a low place, you want to go high. And when it says a high place, you want to go low. There we go. I did get evil liquid. I should have reset. But I just kind of wasn't thinking. Under the black box. Wait, am I dumb? No, I'm not.
It's gotta be close. Only one more left.
Dangerous moon. I'm blanking on this piece, which is good. This... Okay. Here, just... Man, this was really bad. Here. I need to find something to just sort of damage myself on. Oh, I am really dumb.
It's gotta be close.
I was really dumb. For real.
Not too bad, I guess.
I'm
Long time no see, treasure hunter.
my
This is
general.
my
That's a good
emerald.
one. Your emerald. Talking to you is a waste of time.
Okay, so we want to
Master.
fly over and just sort of drill dive into Knuckles.
I thought I could do it.
Hand over those master emeralds. Give them to me.
And then that was just some manipulation for later.
Use your rings wisely. Pick up one ring at a time, or else.
I have no support.
Okay, so there we go. Where'd it go?
Witness my power. Take this. Now witness. I must protect the master
Now
emerald.
give it
Okay, so Cosmic Wall is the last Eggman stage. And it's a little interesting. Sadly, we're not really gonna do most of it. And ideally, I'll get this trick first try and not be sad. Because I decided going into it, I'm only going to attempt this trick once, and then do a variant that's slightly slower if I mess it up. But we're gonna get we're gonna get cheesy. Okay. So this trick is called Cosmic Wall Super Skip Cheese. Because it's an easier variant to a degree. And we just sort of cheese our way out of the stage. And now we just sort of fly to the end. Because Cosmic Wall Skip, or it's also known as Dream or Russian Skip, was already a thing, and there was a different variant called Cosmic Wall Super Skip, where we break out at a different point. And this is just called cheese because they were already taken. So now we're just gonna be flying for about 2 minutes, so unless something bad happens, I can say, hey, donations are good.
I totally have a few donations. I have a $1.80 donation from Iski with no comment, a $5 donation from Proximity Sound, also no comment, $20 from Lily, who has no comment, $10 from High Tall, who has no comment, and then I have a $100 donation from Meg McAttack, who says, "Yay, another Power Up with Pride. Good luck to all the other runners, and thanks Seth for putting it on. Incentive goes to the Return to Subcon Task Showcase."
Okay, now we can see the tube, which is normally the end section of the stage. And so we're just gonna keep on flying. Because it's still gonna be a bit. Yeah, so normally there's a huge machine that just chases you down this tube because you're on an on-rail section, lovingly dubbed by the community the Cosmic Wall Express. Okay. And now we're just gonna keep going. Well, at least that went well. That was a gold split for me, so we take those.
That was too close.
And we still got an E rank. Due to the fact that we got basically no points. Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about the point... okay. Okay, now we're done with Eggman. So we just got a stage and a stage as Shadow. I almost said Tails for whatever reason. And then a boss. So this stage, Final Chase, I'm just sort of gonna not take it that speedily. Or not take it that risky. I'm still gonna be speedy. But there's a lot of things in this stage that are known that are just not known by me on how to execute. I mean, some might call me doing marathon safety, but it's more, this is just how I do the stage. Except for the very start. Also, these gravity tubes are the worst. Almost no one likes them to my knowledge. And yeah, they're kind of buggy. And they kind of make me sad. There we go. Yeah, I like to avoid the tubes. Okay. Except for this tube. This tube's alright. As is this tube, because they're horizontal. I respect horizontal tube. Except for these ones coming up. Okay, grab the pulley. And then we hit the spring. And we just sort of hold forward. And go to the end. Skipping that last long tube section because it's not nice.
Maybe I didn't try hard enough.
I guess you could say you didn't try hard enough there, Shadow. Now it's time for the final boss fight. And we get to just sort of... We want to rhythmically attack him. Ooh, that was pretty good. That was a gold split for me. And... Oh, I should have mentioned that was time. But according to my timer, that was a 46:59, which is what I would consider a bad time. But we were underestimate. Alright. I guess I can't complain about the major death in Route 280. Alright. Okay. So I think that's all I've got to say. Thank you all so much for having me. And I have a bit of a confession. My estimate originally was a 4630. But staff asked around that because it would just be easier on all of us. So we take those.
Rounding up now sounds like a good idea, huh?
Yeah. Alright, so next is Shadow the Hedgehog, right?
Yep, it's gonna be Shadow the Hedgehog neutral, no CCG by Azrael Kirby. I believe we're gonna have them set up real quick. So hold on tight, everybody. We're gonna transition, and we'll be up with the next run really soon.
Alright, thanks for having me.
Cool. Oh, by the way, there's just this weird. Let me get into the level because there's this weird, like, black bar on the bottom that just appears on the menus. And it's only on, like, this menu it's not on. It's, like, just there. I don't get it.